Hello YouTube! It is me once again with the Transformers reveal, and today's character, we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty of the ones I still have in my possession, like a lot of my really favorite characters from the whole series. So I'm kind of counting them down from not that I love all these characters, but my least favorite up to my most favorite of what I have left. And this is kind of like I said, we had Groove last week. And I like Groove and I love the Protectobots and everything, but we're bringing it up a notch this week. This character is an Autobot. He is unique. He is memorable for many different things. His personality, his alt mode, just his general way of being. He's very memorable. He sticks in your mind, and he is just pretty awesome. And his name, without further ado, is Warpath. Or War Dog, if you will. No, it's actually Warpath. So, Warpath, you can't really see him on here. Here's a bit of a better glimpse, if you can see that, I'm not sure. Warpath came into the Transformers universe. I don't remember exactly which season, which episode it was, but he wasn't one of the original wave of Autobots that arrived on the Ark and stuff, at least that you saw. He came later on in the series in kind of the second wave, I believe, of characters, like along with like Trax and Power Glide, Smokescreen, those guys. And what makes him so memorable is the fact that he was very excitable and had a very unique way of speaking. Like whenever he was fighting and he was firing off his cannon, it was like kablam, whammo, powie, you know, he'd always be, and he had this really crazy voice. So he was very excitable and made a lot of strange speak when he was fighting. And he's also very memorable because his alt mode is a tank. Now, most of the Autobots, as you know, are different types of cars, mostly the odd bits of trucks and stuff here, but they're all four-wheeled kind of vehicles. They have very few planes and stuff like that. So Warpath coming in gave them a bit of a different look in terms of being a tank. Now, his arch enemy on the Decepticons was a character named Blitzwing, who is a triple changer, and one of his alt modes also was a tank. So they often did battle against each other. And Warpath's kind of Achilles heel, let's say, was his cannon. It was his proudest feature. Of course, when he's in tank mode, that's the main feature, is his rotating cannon. He blasts away. And then when he transforms into a robot, it's like his chest piece, and it's always sticking out front. So his cannon is his pride and joy. It's how he dispatches his foes. But if anything goes wrong with it, it can set him back both physically and emotionally. So let's, this clip here I have of him is only about a minute long, I think, and it just, it's him and Trax chasing down the Decepticon Stunticon team and giving them the business, so to speak. So here is a brief glimpse into him in both his modes and how he talks and how he fights. So let her roll.
Better move it, Dad, or I'll beat you back to the rendezvous point.
Big deal, so beat me. Hey, now that's interesting.
That's wisdom, Dad.
Blam, boom, pow. I'll make that hot rod even hotter.
So there you get a glimpse of kind of how Warpath operates, and you get a glimpse into his kind of quirky personality. Now, this this toy is from the, does it even say on here? Bad Cube is the company that has done this figure. This is my first Bad Cube character. I've got one more, no, I've actually got one more ordered, and which was supposed to be shipped from AliExpress, but it's still pending shipping, and that was like 2 months ago. So I have a feeling I'm not getting that one. I'm gonna have to get it refunded and then reorder it. So I have one more that's should have been here by now, but I'll have to reorder. And then I just actually bought a team of 3 characters on eBay earlier this week, but the seller's away, so it hasn't been shipped yet. So I do have some more Bad Cube characters that hopefully will be eventually in the mix, but this is the first and only I have right now. So I'm very curious to see how it looks and how it transforms compared to all the different series of robots that I've got in my collection up to this point. Now, let's quickly have a look at Warpath's G1 toy. As you can see from those pictures, he was very small and he was very basic in his transformation. I actually bought a reissue of that G1 toy about 2 or 3 years ago when they were released at Walmart, because simply I loved the Warpath character and I didn't have his Microbot toy when I was a kid, so I got it all those years later. Now, like I said, he is considered a Microbot in the same mold as the smaller Transformers characters like Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, Huffer, Sea Spray, all those guys that were just the little basic transformations. But of course, him being a tank, he's going to be bigger than Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper and all the little cars and stuff like that. So I'm fully expecting that, although he is a smaller character, I guess, he's going to be, when we get him in the Bad Cube mold, he's going to end up being bigger than, say, my Transformers Masterpiece Bumblebee, because these are all to Masterpiece scale, and I think they're going to have done it a little more correctly in terms of the scaling. So I can't wait to see kind of what he looks like in robot mode and how high he stands compared to Bumblebee and those other little guys. So, but without further ado, let's get this opened up and have a look at my first Bad Cube figure. Warpath. Let's get him out this box. And like I mentioned before, I really hope he's in tank mode, in alt mode. And it's just going to require one transformation that I'm going to have to complete. But we'll see. We'll see. Yes. Fish my wish. He is in tank mode, and he is much larger than Bumblebee. Let's just say that. Look at this beautiful, beautiful biatch. Okay, so Bad Cube. Their characters come with, ooh, War Dog, a little art poster thing. I'd actually hang that in my locker at work if it was more like that instead of like that, because that's pretty cool. So there we go, we got that. That's a unique feature. Of course, an instruction booklet for the transformation, and then a character card. Oh, and then kind of 2 character cards. One's kind of the more thick stock, and this one's a little thinner. So, yeah, that's cool. More is less, right? No, more is more. Less is more, but I don't believe in that. Only in certain situations. Oh, look at this guy. See, Bumblebee would probably be like half of his size, sort of thing, if that. So yeah, he's pretty substantial compared to those other Microbots. So that is pretty cool. Let's get started on his transformation, get him into a robot mode, and we will see what that looks like. It's going to be awesome. Tank mode is pretty awesome, but guarantee robot mode is going to be even better. like I said, totally worth it. Look at, like, you see what I mean about his cannon being so prominent and his pride and joy, like it's sticking right out in front. He just looks amazing. He looks bulky and beefy and obviously bigger than the Bumblebee character. For Bad Cube, I really like the figure. It felt very solid despite not having any die cast, no metal, it's all plastic. But I never felt like I was on the verge of breaking something. The transformation was tricky. But I stuck with it, figured it out, and I never felt any panic during it. So overall, and some cool elements of the transformation too. There was some really neat stuff. So I'm very pleased with this character. For being my first Bad Cube character, I think this is quite a way to start it off. So now I can't wait to see what the other characters are going to be like, because one of them is one of my favorite Autobots, off the radar Autobots of all time, and then the other three are this really cool team that I'm surprised I didn't look for up until recently, because they're pretty prominent in the series. So yeah, this thing is going to fit in awesomely on my shelf. I can't wait to put them there. And when I first opened them up, like when you saw me take them out of the box, I was like, oh, he's got no weapons with him. But then I thought, well, Warpath only needs one weapon, right? But then they actually, some sort of photon blaster or something like that. But the problem is his thumbs don't move, they're fixed in place, and it's really hard to get it in there, so I didn't really do any pictures with him holding it or anything. And then he also comes with a shield. Now, he doesn't have this in the series as far as I remember, I think, but they obviously gave him some stuff to go with him, just probably to give him some accessories, just to have them, sort of thing. So, but this is an awesome character. So happy I unboxed him, and like I said, this is the first in the next handful of what are going to be a lot of my favorite characters of all time that I've got left. So great way to start, and we'll see you next week.